Attention, piggies. You are going to be detained for public questioning.
About me. When I tell you something, I mean it. I'm a man of my word. So, 10,000. Okay? Commercial 30 or 10% thereof. You can't post bond? See ya.
Are you a public official? The record that Jim Murray does not want to face the public for our concern.
My name is Lawrence Steele. I'm an enemy of this state. I invite you, as I take a look and show you the corruption in this city, the lives ruined, and the people behind it.
Because you failed to abide by the rules. Now, put some money up. Oh, see, we have records. It's all on record. Everything we're saying right now is on record. Case number CRV 211129. Child, Steele.
All right, how's it going? Thanks for joining us, Motobomb. Good to see you. I hope my mic should be working. Today, I just wanted to jump on here and do a quick live to help get some content up. And I realized that after I did this video, it's been a while now, well over almost 2 years maybe, and still no results. But I never really did break it down, because he took control of the whole situation and tried to throw his lies out there and manipulate the whole thing to make me look bad from what I was saying. So I was just going to take a few minutes today in order to get some content up, and I was going to break this down, go over this video, and thanks for letting me know it sounds good there. Appreciate it. And anyways, my plan is to go over this video a little bit and point out the things where he's manipulating it and trying to make it look bad. And before I get too much further, I did run a drawing already for everyone that signed up on that for the mailing list, and I appreciate everyone that's done that. And it'll take me a little bit, but as soon as things get moving along here, we'll start doing some drawings and stuff off of that. And so some of you may have noticed that you gotten an email. Anyone that was signed up to this point automatically, they automatically won something, whether it be the low level but the drawing was for the top 2 levels. Anyways, otherwise, I don't know. I get to doing this and get to joining the community helps me feel a little bit better, because anymore I just feel down and out all the time with all this stuff and getting nowhere. And everyone says, oh, don't give up, and which I don't want to, for sure. But not giving up, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to continue on like this. Anyways, I'll go ahead and start this, and then I'll cut in at the certain points. We'll go over it. Some of you maybe have already seen this video, but I'm not going to I'm not going to just let it play. I'm going to let certain parts play, and then where he's pulling his little games, I'll stop it and correct the issues there. So I'll go ahead and let me change the screen a little bit here.
Hi, Larry.
Hello, sir. This is our sheriff here, right?
That's correct.
I need to know, one, this office is supposed to uphold an oath, right?
Okay.
But it's been in total violation of my rights.
In what way?
Well, I've submitted the complaint twice now to this office, and you had, to begin with, a deputy that threw me in jail for no reason.
Yeah, Larry, I believe that court case is settled and
It's not settled.
You were found guilty.
No.
And,
It's not settled. It's in appeal right now.
Oh, it's in appeals.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've appealed it?
Yeah.
That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's in appeal now.
Okay.
But, I mean, either way...
But you were convicted, correct?
Either way, if I prove he violated my rights, then... Okay, here's the thing. According to the... Okay, I'll stop right there already, right off the bat, because he knows what's up. I'm there on camera, and he's trying to flip the whole situation to make me look bad. And he comes out saying, oh, well, you pled guilty. I'm not sure if he said that already, and I did not plead guilty. And he said, well, you were convicted. And first off, right off, I was coming to him for several things that was going on. And how they threw me out of my house was illegal or whatever. But right off the bat, from the beginning of this case, he took the information, or he took his officers violated me, and that's how they ended up trying to charge me or whatever. My rights were violated completely. Like, they showed up. First of all, they showed up where the call came from, and when they showed up, I was not there. I was at work, and they showed up and they found out that, even according to the alleged victim, that nothing happened, right, other than an argument. And it was my home. I was the only one that lived there. And good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And so I go to him, and he tries to play it off as, oh, well, you were convicted and all this. And at the time it was still in appeals. But it don't matter. Here's the problem: is he's the sheriff, duly elected sheriff, and he's supposed to abide by the Constitution. And I pointed out to him and prove it in my complaints that right now I can't bring them up. I'm trying to get that stuff around where I can bring this paperwork up. I got some of it scanned in, but whenever I try to bring it up, it messes with my system. But anyways, I submitted my complaint, and when I submitted my complaint, it was proof that my rights were violated. And he wants to say, well, just because you were convicted, they act like just because you were convicted that that means it's okay what they do. And it's never okay. It's not okay that your rights are violated. And when I proved to the sheriff that his officers violated my rights, it was his job to do something about it. But he refused to do something about it. And that's what he's referring to right there, where he's already trying to sidetrack it right off the bat. Oh, well, you were convicted, and as if that makes it excusable that your officers violated my rights. What it boils down to is, yeah, they convicted me with even no proof, and that's the whole thing about kangaroo courts that we talked about before. But he uses that as his excuse to get away with it.
Constitution. Is that correct?
No.
You pled guilty.
No.
And were convicted.
No, I did not plead guilty.
Okay, go on.
And either way, our rights is our rights. Our constitutional rights is our rights. And if an officer writes in his own report that no one was hurt and no one was believed to be a threat, well, then he had no right to throw me in jail. And secondly, if the next day the officer enforces an unlawful protection order and lies about
It's
saying
unlawful in what manner?
there was no due process.
You knew you had a protection order.
No.
The judge issued you the protection order.
First of all, I was not in the house.
Okay.
So I never violated a protection
But
order.
again,
But secondly,
that's a matter for the court.
Secondly,
If you pled
it's a matter
guilty
for
to
the
that one
sheriff
too,
it's a matter for the sheriff.
You were convicted of that one also. Is that correct?
Listen, there was no due process.
Okay, right there,
And there he goes right there. All this thing about trying to act like, well, you were convicted. So before I go too much further, I'm offering an open invitation to Sheriff Engel, Troy Essex, the judge, who's now the judge, Nicholas Fee, who's my lawyer. Now come to find out just recently, I found out that he's now moved up to magistrate, my ex-lawyer, in Williams County. And I've got some people coming forward. I'm not going to mention their names yet or anything, but I got a group of people coming forward from this area that have all been affected by this corruption. And we're going to all come together and try to get something done about it. And I found out quite a good amount of interesting information about Nicholas Fee. So all of these turds, I offer an open invitation for them to come onto my channel from the comfort of their office or home and get on here and debate me and prove to me where I'm wrong. I'm sure they won't do it, but the invitation is there. But so he starts saying this, keeps on going, well, you were convicted and it's a matter for the courts. And what he's failing to, and he knows, he's trying to keep me from getting this out there, but he knows that I proved that our due process, right? My due process was violated. And he's trying to say, oh, well, that's a matter for the courts. And you were convicted of that too. And the thing is, he's talking about a protection order that was unlawful. And he knows that when it's proved that it's unlawful, then they have no right to enforce it. And they did. And so they illegally, once again, threw me in jail for 3 more nights using an unlawful protection order. And I told him, well, my due process rights were violated. He says, due process is a matter for the courts. It's your job, Mr. Sheriff, when I come to you and prove to you that due process did not happen in court, that they overlooked it, then it's your job as being sworn under the Constitution to uphold the Constitution. It's your job to recognize that. And he tries to play this off and make and control the whole narrative. Hey, Ray's Moto, glad to see you join us. Just seen that, yeah, no problem. I actually just threw this up at last minute. I didn't see where anyone was doing one, so I was sitting here kind of bored and needed to get some content up anyway. So I threw this up at last minute. So I appreciate everyone that's joining us, especially that this wasn't scheduled. Mom's birthday today, so we are taking her to dinner. I'll try to listen in. Right on. Happy birthday to your mom. Right on. That's awesome. Okay, I'll continue on here. Due process is our right.
Larry, due process happened in court. You were processing.
Due process did not.
And you were found guilty.
I'm not going to argue with that. Anyways, I want to know.
Because the truth is, you were convicted.
Have you charged Jason Baker? And that's how he tries to play it off. Oh, you were convicted and due process happens in court. And he does this trying to, because he knows he's on camera. He figures he's going to make me, the whole time he's trying to make me look bad and look stupid. But you'll see in a little bit here, he starts to swallow a little bit hard when he realizes I'm calling him out. And because due process did not happen. And this whole conviction nonsense was a whole scam. Baker with theft of my property.
Jason Baker.
Eileen's ready. The guys, you guys held me at gunpoint to hand over my property to someone not entitled on the order.
You have been told this multiple times, Larry, that because the bank took your property, foreclosed on it, seized your property.
The sheriff's department seized my property.
It was through a court order. Because you had not made your house payments for how many years?
Not years, a couple of months, dude. Okay, and why was that? Because of this unlawful actions from the sheriff's department. I mean, it's just your job to hold these. I'll stop it there again. I got to stop this more often. I didn't sit down and really think this through before I was going over. I just realized that I didn't go over this with anyone. Evo Rick, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Glad to see you here. So he, I forgot what I was saying there, but he continues on like this, continues to do this. And then he tries to tell people, he tries to say, oh, well, you didn't pay your mortgage for how many years, and trying to make me look like some bum that didn't pay his bills. And I assure you, I've paid my bills ahead of time, the whole time until all this went down. And he says, well, the bank won't throw, like they had a right. I proved in court that all this shit, but we'll get to, I've already talked about some of that before in another video. But the thing is, he's trying to act like I didn't pay my bills for years. And the truth is, it was only a few months that it was a few months that I got behind on my payments. And actually, where I messed up was selling my bike. The only reason I did is because I still had my old one. So I was going to get that one back up and running and on the road. So I sold my new one I had, and it was all brand new, all the stuff I went through because we was planning a trip that year, and ended up not being able to do nothing with it. But I sold that bike and many other things to pay up my mortgage way ahead, and not knowing they was going to drag it out this long while I was fighting it. And so I sold all that stuff so I could have all my stuff paid. And then at the end of the day, I still ended up probably about 4 months behind on my mortgage. The fact of the matter is, the amount I was behind on the mortgage is the same exact amount that they ordered me to pay while not being allowed to live in my house. And so while I was fighting it, my thing was, hey, you guys actually owe this much, not me. The judge ordered me unlawfully out of my house, and I proved it was unlawful. Therefore, in my opinion, he then took over ownership responsibility. So he should have been entitled to have to pay that amount. And, I wasn't trying to get my house free or nothing like that. They tried to pull it off like I was pulling some shady stuff, and I assure you I was not. Let me check here. Ray's Moto says, I was convicted when I was 24, went to prison 3 years, never been arrested again. They still look at me like I'm that guy. Yeah, right on. That's true. They never, you're always the bad guy. As soon as they can get you in their grips, they never let you out. And you haven't given them a reason yet, but I understand what you're saying. They'll still be looking for any reason they can find. It sucks getting caught up in their system. And sometimes I've done things in the past, right? I'm not trying to sit here and act like I'm some innocent angel. I've done things, and I'll admit anything I've done, and I'll admit when I'm wrong. But when it came to this case, I was absolutely not wrong. I was innocent, and we've got so many people in this area too coming forward, adding. I got a whole list of people. They don't want me talking about their stuff just yet, but we're hoping to get a class action against the whole system here in Williams County. I'll get back into this before I get off track.
These guys accountable if they violate my rights. My property my personal property was taken out of that house. This sheriff's department forced me away from my house, forced me away from my property, and they were the ones in possession of my property and unlawfully searched that property.
Okay, you can see here he's starting to swallow hard as I'm pointing this out, because the fact of the matter is, they showed up to my house. See, the backstory is I showed up. It's in a few other videos. I showed up to the sheriff's office with video saying they sent me a notice saying that they're going to auction off my house, and the sheriff will be showing up to keep the peace. But they never gave me any time notice to get out, never any of that. So I showed up to the sheriff's office and I said, hey, I want to know, what does this mean? Keep the peace. What does keep the peace mean? And they wouldn't answer it because they knew exactly what I was getting at. Keep the peace means if you don't listen to us, we'll come and take you out any way we got to, right? And if that means we got to shoot you or anything else, we will. And that's what happened. They showed up. So then they showed up at my house after that. Deputy told me, the second in charge, Chief Vandemark, told me, oh, well, I'm going to look into this and get back with you. And they never did. I never heard nothing back until one day they were watching they had to have been watching me, because it was the exact same time I was going to take my dog out. And as soon as we got to the door, as soon as I put my hand on the door, I heard a knock, but I searched all my windows to make sure everything I was doing that for days on end, just because they was going to pull some stuff. I figured they would pull some stuff. I see nobody out there. And as soon as I put my hand on the door, heard a knock, I opened the door, and they were there, all of them, in the SWAT and all the armor gear with their guns pointed right at me. and yanked me out of the house as soon as I opened the door. And then that's when they handed me the 3-day notice. I never seen it before that. And by law, they should have gave me that notice 3 days before they showed up, and they never did. And that's what I was pointing out to him. You guys took all of my stuff, all of my property that was in that house. It was wrong for you to yank me out of the house and take me out of there to begin with, but you did. And then you wouldn't let me go back in and get none of my stuff. You wouldn't let me get none of the stuff out of the garage, nothing. And technically I should have had 3 days to do that, because I never seen the 3-day notice till the day you showed up with guns in my face. And he wants to, and I'm starting to point that out to him. If you watch him, he's starting to swallow hard, because he knows I got him on these violations. If you could get any lawyer with enough balls to take the case in this area, they won't, because it's so corrupt. The only way I'm going to be able to do it is get some real expensive lawyer from way out of town. Ray's Moto says, oh, okay, I was not innocent. I just didn't do the crime they said I did. Yeah, I get that too. And I got, like some stuff with my son that's going on. I don't want to be on here pretending like, oh, they're always in the wrong. My son did some bad stuff. But at the end of the day, the crimes they convicted him for was not the stuff he actually did. He stole a gun is what he did. And I wasn't happy with that, but they ended up busting him for some nasty shit, and he's in prison right now over it. And it sucks that, sometimes we're not really innocent, but it don't give them the right to charge you for crimes that you really didn't do. They're adding bullshit to it. And I feel for you there, Ray. That sucks.
And refused to return it to me. To this day, I cannot shower. I cannot brush my teeth. Why? Because that's my property. Who has a right to it? Who has a right to anything that was in that house?
Okay, are you done? Larry?
Answer that question.
I will.
Okay.
Okay. We had a court order for you to be removed from the property. You have been given multiple notices to vacate the property.
First of all, I was not. The 3-day notice, the 3-day notice that you guys handed me.
You wanted me to answer it. I'm trying to answer.
You're answering with lies.
No, I'm not.
The 3-day notice was never given to me until the day you.
Right there, he's trying to pull all this stuff, and that's where I'm telling him the 3-day notice was never given it to me until the day they showed up. And he says. And he goes, my question to him was, who had the right to my property, my personal property that was in the house? Who had the right to it? And he's like, oh, I'm going to answer that question. So I said, answer the question. And he says he's gonna, but you can hear he's not answering the question. Just tell me right out who has the right to that, because he knows the only person with the right to that property was me. And so he's beating around the bush and then pulling this shit. Oh, I'm answering it. And that's where I call it. You're answering it with lies. And oh, no, I'm not. Yes, you certainly are. Motobomb, thanks for dropping them links. Appreciate it.
You guys showed up.
Okay, Larry, it's a court order for us to remove you and a court order for a company to have your property removed. It was placed into storage. You were told multiple times, not only by my officers, but also you had conversations with the company that moved your property out and told you how to get your property back. Yeah. And you have not done any of the above.
How did I not?
So
I 100% certainly did. And I've talked to you guys several times and asked where my property is.
And you were told.
No one has told me where that property is.
Larry,
it's stolen.
No, it's not.
And here's one of the biggest issues right here. First of all, Ray's Moto says, here's your notice. Now get out. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. That's pretty much what they did right there. Buck Brown, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. No problem. There's no tardy today for sure, because I didn't even have this scheduled. I just threw this up at last minute because I needed to come up with some content, and this shit's been bothering me. So I just decided to, I see no one was on at the moment, so I decided to throw something up real quick. But I'm glad you joined us here. So he's him hawing around trying to tell me that I was given multiple notices, and I was not. I was given they came at me with one thing, and I showed up to ask them what that meant, and they refused to answer it. And then I never heard nothing back until they showed up with their guns in my face. And then he says that I was told multiple times where my property was, because he knows no one else had the right to that property except me. And I said, no, that's not true. And he says, you were told multiple times by my officers. And the fact of the matter is, I went to the sheriff's office multiple times to ask them where my stuff is and ask them to do something about it. And he refused to do anything at all about it. And so they never told me where my stuff was. And then the company that has it, what I was told is you call this number and then we'll give you your stuff. You call this number that's we're going to put on the window and then we'll tell you where your stuff is. So I called that number. I gave it a couple of days and I called that number and they gave me this sorry ass excuse. Oh, well, we got to wait till the vendor is around and all that. So then I went to the sheriff's office before this time and I said, hey, this is what's going on. So the deputy I talked to said, hey, okay, we'll look into it and we'll give him a call. He gave me a call back later that night. And he gave me a call later that night and said he spoke to them and they're going to put it on expedite. And then I never heard nothing back. And still to this day, I don't have any of that property. And that's where he's hawing around trying to pretend I didn't do what I was supposed to, is what he's saying, and to get my stuff back. And I've been given all this opportunity and they're lying. And I've got it all in these previous videos. I see Motobomb dropped a link to the one. Yeah, that is, I got a couple of different ones out there, but it's all related. The ones that's showing anything with the sheriff's department, it's all related to this same thing. But here we go.
Violation of your oath right now, sir.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you certainly are. Your oath is to uphold the Constitution, not the court order, the Constitution. And anything that goes against my constitutional rights, you are charged with protecting that.
Larry.
You are our sheriff. We elect you to protect our Constitution. We elect you to protect us, not the court, not the bank. And the bank never showed up. The court order said that possession would be given to the plaintiff. The plaintiff is the bank. Jason Baker is who you guys gave the possession to. Jason Baker is not the bank. He is not the court. He is not me. That is my personal property. No matter what you say, it's mine. It belongs to me. I'm the only one with the right to it. They've refused to give it back. So I'm asking, have you charged them with theft?
There is no theft.
There is theft. Where is my property? If they take my property, you guys gave them my property with no right to do so, and they took it, that's theft. How about I just take all of your personal belongings right now, and then tell you to fuck off because there's no theft?
First of all, Larry, you're talking two opposite things.
I'm not talking two opposite things. What's the two opposite things?
You were given plenty of notice.
I was not given plenty of notice.
You were given a copy of the court order.
I was given one notice that you guys showed up to my house, and then I came here.
And you have also been told multiple times, Larry.
I have it all on video, sir. I have it all on video.
And you have been told multiple times who to contact to get your property back.
I contacted them. They refused to do something, so I reported it to Mr. Vandermark, and he refused to do something about it. My shit, I've already reported stolen. It is stolen.
Did you follow through on what they told you had to do to get your property?
Call them. That's what I was told to do. Call them. I called them, and they've done nothing.
What did they tell you?
They told me nothing.
What did they tell you?
They said, we will call you back when we get a hold of the vendor. That's unlawful, okay? My property's mine. The day I called for it, they should have told me exactly where it's at. They refused to do so. And so I reported to you guys. It's now your job to charge them with theft. This is theft. It's been well over a month that they've had all of my stuff. Every last penny I have is a part of that possession. My clothes, my stuff to clean with. I can't shower. I can't do nothing. You guys forced me homeless against that and did not follow that order. And now I've reported my stuff stolen. So I want to know why they are not charged with theft.
Your stuff isn't stolen.
It is stolen. I don't have it.
Okay, that shows you how much of a piece of crap this sheriff is, because what's going on there is I should go up to him, explain all this stuff to him, and from there he should be doing his job. That's theft, right? We all know that that's theft. When I've done everything I could to try to get my stuff back, he should have, and they didn't do it, then he should have held that company responsible. Motobomb says, Makes me angry just listening. Yeah, right on. I appreciate that. Sorry it makes you angry though. I hate that it brings these feelings out, but yeah, I get it. I appreciate it too. But you know, so his job is to say, okay, you're right. They don't want to give you your stuff back, then that's theft, and we'll charge them with theft. But he's wrong the whole way around, because first of all, the court order they showed me says that they're there to keep the peace. That it don't say we're there to yank you out of your house at gunpoint. And then it says that possession will be given to the plaintiff, and the plaintiff is the bank, not this guy that they gave it to. His name is Jason Baker. He's from here, about 50 miles away, Holland, Ohio. The company is iLink Realty, and what they do, this company, and wherever you live, you probably got people doing this. They find out, they keep an eye on the papers or whatever to find out who's facing foreclosure. And then they show up. He showed up at my house one day, looking around, looking in the windows, and I'm sitting in there. I ran out the door. I said, "Who the hell are you? What the hell are you doing on my property?" And he gives me his card. "Oh, well, we're just looking at this. We could probably get you some money if you agree to get out early, because you understand how our foreclosure goes, don't you?" I said, "You get the hell off my property. I'm fighting this in court." Well, next thing I know, when they show up, these guys show up. They yanked me out of my house. They made me leave for an hour while they searched through my house. And then they said, in an hour, the movers will be here or whatever. I show up there, and it's this Jason Baker guy. And that's wrong, because he's not from the bank. He's from some cheap ass realty company that goes and takes they go and they find out who's facing foreclosure. And then they end up getting in there and getting these people forced out of their houses so they can list it on the market. And that's what he did. Listed my house on the market, but he was not a member of the bank. So that's where Sheriff Engel was wrong already, for allowing the sheriff's office allowed him to have possession where it should have been given to the bank. And because the bank wasn't there, they should have left me alone. Instead, they gave it to this guy who was nowhere on the court order. And it's all just a whole bunch of nonsense. Motobomb says he has political answers. Lies. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And one of my other videos, they admit, "Oh, well, we took your complaint and gave it to the prosecutor, and that's who we listened to, the prosecutor's office." That's not how the Constitution works. If I come to you with a complaint and prove that it's against my constitutional rights or against the Constitution at all, then it's your job to uphold the Constitution, not to ask the prosecutor, who's local here and screwing everybody over. And they just say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll protect your ass," right? It's a nonsense.
And I never gave permission. That's theft.
Am I raising my voice to you?
Why am I doing that? Because you're not listening to me and you're fucking calling me a liar.
I am telling you that you were told and given the options of what...
I'm telling you, I don't care what I was told. When my stuff was not returned to me, it should be considered stolen. There's nothing you're going to do. Okay, our sheriff, Doug Engel, refuses to do his job.
I did my
You
job.
refuse to do your job.
No, I did.
Tell the people you refuse to do your job in Defiance County.
You know what you have to do.
I've done what I had to do. Now I'm doing what I have to do.
Calm down, Larry. There's no sense in raising your voice to me.
Why are you not listening to me, the voter, right? Okay, everywhere you get off like this because everywhere I go they say, well, the sheriff's his own person because, right? So the only person above him is the citizens, right? That's me, sir. So I'm about to relieve you of your duty. Okay. Do you want to be fired from your job? Because I'm the one with the authority to do that because I'm the citizen who you are charged to protect.
And this, what they're ignoring right here, is because I went everywhere with my complaint, as high as I could go, all the way up to the Ohio Attorney General. And they responded to me saying, we can't do nothing about it because Ohio is a home rule state and the sheriff is elected. And the only people over him is the voters, the citizens. And so that's why I went to him. Hey, that means I'm the boss here, mister. Right? That's what they're telling me. And but the truth is, the county commissioner has authority over the sheriff, and I said this in another video. The county coroner has authority over the sheriff. If you can prove the sheriff's wrong, they got authority to step in and do something about it. And I went to both of those, and none of them stepped up to do anything about it. And that's where a lot of my frustration is, because I'm like, this guy's refusing to uphold his oath. And that's where I got him right there on the video saying, oh, I'm not going to do nothing about it. Well, it's your job to do something about it. And you just told me right out, you're refusing to do your job. Then you need to go. You need to be getting out of here. And so I told him he's relieved of his duty. Of course, he's still there, right? So because of that, I went and submitted my complaint to the county commissioner and the county coroner, both. And they both say, oh, well, we don't got no authority to do something about that. But if you read the law, they do have have authority to do something about it. They just refuse. It's sickening. Motobomb says, does he have a conscience? Right. And that's what pisses me off. No conscience, actually. Well, and when you know the whole story is, he's controlled by my ex-employer Hornish family, who runs everything in this town, and they're top Masons. And there's another guy out here, Direct D. He's a auditor, and he's facing some stuff and having a hard time getting his appeals to go through. And what he don't realize is he's fighting against the Masonic order. They're a gang, and they truly are. And the Masons run your local communities, and they consist of cops, sheriffs, judges, lawyers, doctors, stuff like that. And they all golf together, stuff like that. But no conscience there, because he's citing against me for this dude. This Jason Baker isn't even from Defiance County. He should be siding with me, a citizen of Defiance County. Instead, he's taking this guy's side and refusing to do anything about it. No conscience at all. I appreciate that, Motobomb. That's the truth.
You are here for us, not anybody else. Us, the voters.
Larry, I'm going to suggest you go see your attorney and let him try to explain to you what has happened, okay? Because we have...
I'm explaining to you what has happened, and you're refusing to do something about it. Go break out the Constitution. I already gave you guys a copy of it. Break it out and read it. And when you read that, then you tell me how I'm not violated.
Larry, there is no crime.
There is a crime. My shit was fucking stolen.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, I'm gonna steal all around here. When I walk out of here, I'm just gonna jump in one of them sheriff's cars. It's mine anyways, right? And don't tell me it's stolen. Because I'm gonna take whatever I want at my own free will, because it's not theft, right? What classifies theft?
Your property.
What is theft, sir?
Your property was removed by a court order.
The court does not have an order. Nobody has a right to my personal property.
They ordered it removed.
They ordered it unlawfully. You guys followed an order that is unlawful.
And take it up with the court.
I'm telling you what.
And there's another thing that gets me. He knows that the court already screwed me over. Keeps telling me, take it up with the court. And he's trying to say, oh, we follow the court's orders. And that's fine as long as the court order is within the law. But when they broke the Constitution and they didn't follow, like when it came to my house, I submitted my answer saying, hey, these guys don't have any of the right proof to say that they can take my house. They didn't have the wet signature copy of the note or a valid mortgage. They submitted, or the only thing they submitted to was a copy of my billing statement, which proves nothing, right? Because according to that, then that means I can make up a billing statement and send it to anyone and then take away their house because, right? But he's take it up with the court. You go talk to your attorney. It's him that needs to talk to an attorney, if you ask me. And at the end of the day, it's not his job to follow a court order, and if it's proven that it's not if it's violating the Constitution. And that's where he gets off, because he tells me take it up with the court. He knows the court ain't going to side with me because they've already screwed me once, which led up to me losing my house was all because his sheriff's office to begin with, and then the court sided with him and the prosecutor. They all sided together with my lawyer and screwed me right over. Motobomb says he's lying or playing dumb to protect peeps with power that has his interest in mind, so to speak. Yeah, that's 100%. And that's what happens around here. So, like I said, the Hornish family, they're just one of the family, one of the super rich in this area that control all the shit. And first of all, they fired me when they found out I was going to try to sue the sheriff's office for violating me. And when they found that out, then they fired me. so that I couldn't afford to sue. And then when I made a complaint against my employer with the the Civil Rights Commission, when I made my complaint there, then suddenly that's when they showed up with guns out to take me out of my house. They're protecting each other. It's ridiculous. Still don't make it right. 100%. 100%.
What are you doing to uphold your constitutional duty?
Larry, go and take
It's your constitutional duty. Tell us what classifies as theft. Define theft for me.
Larry,
Define theft.
Larry, I'm not going to get into a debate with you.
Yeah, you're not going to define because you know my stuff is stolen.
Because you didn't do what you were supposed to.
I've done everything I was supposed to
No,
do.
you didn't.
Yes, I did,
You
sir.
didn't make your house payments. You didn't.
Really?
You didn't.
I didn't make my house payments. Is that how you're going to fucking play this off?
didn't.
I made my house payments 100%. I was living, okay.
The bank won't seize your property if you've made your
Really?
house payments.
Really? The bank was paid twice for that fucking house. Twice.
Okay. Well, then take it up with your attorney and the bank.
What is theft, sir? Tell me what is theft.
So
Define theft. The people want to know what theft is. That's all. You want me to calm down and walk away? Tell me what theft is.
you're gonna walk away.
Tell me what theft is.
This conversation is over with, Larry.
Oh, if you think so.
I know so.
What is theft, sir?
Okay, you're not going to stand in the lobby of the sheriff's office and raise your voice with nobody raising their voice.
The voters want to know what is theft.
So
Could you please answer us that?
obviously, you think you know the law.
You can't tell us what theft is?
Why don't you go?
We need to know
what your
this.
court
We need
order
to know
says?
this. We need to know what is theft so that we
Larry,
don't.
just go read your court order, okay? See ya.
Sheriff Doug Engel not doing his job.
And that's let me see here. So that's most of what I got. I wanted to just highlight where this guy's violating his oath and violating our rights and stuff like that. And two things I went there for: get it on camera that, okay, you tell me who has a right to my property, my personal property, right? Even if you had a right to throw me out of the house, who has a right to my personal property? Answer that question. And as you've seen, he's refused to answer that question. A simple question, answer it. Tell me who has a right. Well, the truth is only I had a right. So, and if somebody else has that property, then it's your job to get over there and charge the people with theft who has my property and refuse to give it, right? As you can understand, it's my old shovel head is part of that property, and plus all my tools to do my job, all kinds of, they got probably altogether worth almost 100 grand worth of stuff. That makes it grand theft, right? And secondly, I said, okay, then tell the people what classifies as theft. And he couldn't even answer that question. Our sheriff couldn't even tell us what theft is. And that's theft all the way. Otherwise, I don't have too much more. I just wanted to play that out and bring that, give a little commentary on that, because I never did go back over that with the video. And when I left there, anyone that's already watched it, I was pretty hot-headed, pissed off or whatever. So I wanted to be able to get on there with a calmer look. And but we got our local officials. The invitation is open. Come on. You can come on my live stream and whatever schedule works for you. And you can do it from the comfort of your office, comfort of your home, whatever. All you got to do is we'll go on a live stream and you can debate me on this and prove where I'm wrong. But they won't do it because they know I'm right. And what they're worried about, and they're still pulling some shit on me. They got people, literally, from the sheriff's office watching my videos. They've already proven it in other videos where they admitted to watching my videos. And they are disliking all of my videos right away. As soon as I post them up, they dislike them. And, if somebody dislikes my video, that's one thing, but they got people doing it on purpose to help hold me down. I try to get good paying jobs in this area, and it's just nonsense, the shit they're pulling. And yeah, he's guilty. And Motobomb says it would have made him guilty to tell you what theft is. Right? 100%. If he would have admitted right there that if he would have told us what theft was, then he would have had to admit right there that he's guilty for refusing to do his job, because first of all, it was, when it comes down to it, it was his office that by gunpoint stole all my property. They're the ones that were there, and that's all on video. They were there, and this Jason Baker guy. So you guys at gunpoint forced me off my property, wouldn't let me near all my personal effects that was in that property. Even my clothes. Most of the clothes I'm wearing was stuff people donated to me. I went for a couple of weeks wearing the same shirt and pants and socks for almost a month, because they wouldn't give me my shit back. And that's why I kept going up to them pissed off. Hey, where's my shit at? Right. But if he would admit if he would have told us, defined what theft was, then he would have been admitting right there that he's in the wrong. And it's just sickening. It really is. Anyone else got any comments? By all means, chime in. I can see we got some people from Facebook in here. I'm not sure who all, but by all means, you can join in the comments. I can see them. I can't respond to them on here on the keyboard, but I can respond to them out loud. But this is what we got going on in Defiance County. And as I said, I got a whole list of people now that has come forward with a whole bunch of people from this county and some local counties. And we're gonna, we're getting there. So many people around here has been violated. Not always the same way mine was, but a lot of dirty stuff going on. Some real sickening stuff with some of these other people's stories, but they don't want me coming out with it yet. They're trying to stay anonymous until we get further along, because every time they find out who's up to what, then they really make their lives hard. And so I'm not going to spill anybody else's information out there that's involved in what we're trying to do until we're further along, because because by all means they will be doing whatever they can to make life hard for all of us. And they're doing it to me. They're making an example out of me, and there's where I'm doing everything I can to not give up. And it sucks, but giving up means some pretty nasty stuff if I have to give up. But I'm going to fight this as long as I can. I will not rest until some kind of justice is brought forward. And the truth is, my complaint just gets bigger and bigger, because the truth is, even the Ohio Attorney General, who wants to ignore it, by him ignoring it, I come to him with this complaint, and he wants to ignore it, and that makes him guilty too. The Ohio Attorney General wants to act like every time somebody complains about corrupt officers, they want to hide. The Ohio Attorney General wants to hide and never do nothing about it. Yeah, no-brainer. Seems like a no-brainer, right? It should be. And according, this is America, and according to this stuff, if I come to you with that, let's just solve this, right? Look, Mr. Engel, I come to you. Let's just solve this. Let's put this behind us and solve it. I wasn't asking for anything major. I just wanted it fixed. And they refused to do it. And, they can't be a man about stuff and just, let's be man to man and fix this. Okay. These people refuse to give me my property back. It's your job to get them for theft. I mean, that don't even solve the rest of the shit where you violated me and everything else. But let's solve, first of all, I want my freaking motorcycle back. Right. And plus my bed, I had a almost brand new bed, all my tools, freaking just everything. They took it all, and to this day refuse, and that's what makes me sick. Refuse to give it all. Motobomb says, if I was to tell him a lie and play dumb like that, he would have just laughed at me. Power and political peeps are brutal. The world is based on lies for real, and seems like he supports that, right? And that's what see where I try to tell people I don't side with either Democrats or Republicans when it comes down to it, because our whole area here is all Republicans. I would expect shit like this out of the crazy Democrat shit, right? But they're all Republicans, but it's corruption still, and they're scratching each other's back, and it's just sickening. But you're right, Motobomb. If you was to tell him a lie, it's illegal for us to lie to them. If we're caught lying to authority figures, we're caught lying to them, then they come on and they can come at us with and charge us with a crime for lying to them. But they can lie through their teeth to us. It's you're 100% right. Hey, retired writer, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Glad to see you. Retired writer, shout out to Motobomb. Eva Rick shouts out to retired, and Motobomb shouts out to retired writer. Right on. I always say retired writer. I think your name's John. I think I call it in there, but usually hopefully I'm not offending you by calling you retired writer. I'm just going by what your name is there on there. But yeah, I'm glad you guys joined in. And like I said earlier, this was thrown up at last minute. I seen that nobody had one going on at the minute, and sometimes I got some pre-recorded videos, but sometimes this shit's got me so that I get pretty heated up and I come off wrong sometimes in those videos. So I thought, well, instead of uploading this video where I'm all pissed off, maybe I'll just do a live stream and go back over this to explain because where I had a lot of, like, if you look in the comments of that original video of that, there's a few people answered in that and said, well, what do you expect? It's a court order, and it's right. And I'm like, well, the problem is it was an unlawful court order, and this what so I'm just trying to explain that with this, because people see it, and this sheriff tries to take over the whole thing and make me look stupid or like some guy that wasn't paying his bills and stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. And even if I was a guy that wasn't paying my bills, that don't give you the right to my personal shit, but that wasn't the case at all. Motobomb says, hey, you got me all political tonight. Right on. Sorry about that, but right on. It sucks, but this political shit runs our lives, and it's sickening, really. Retired writer says, retired writer, John, doesn't matter, either one. Okay, right on. Yeah, I noticed other people calling you John in the things, so, but I know usually I just go by whatever the name is up on there. But I'm the same way. People call me whatever they want, as long as it ain't disrespectful or anything, right? Nothing wrong with having passion about what you believe in. Right on. For anyone, you got to take passion in what you believe in, for sure, by all means. And if you feel a certain way, you got to stick to those beliefs, for no matter what it is, right? And Motobomb says, this is stuff I can relate to anyway and understand. Right on. And that's what I'm trying to do, is give to help give a little understanding. Not that I have all the answers, and by all means, if somebody thinks I'm wrong on something, by all means they can step up with whatever and point it out. Which is why I say, hey, open invitation to all these local public servants. Come on one of my lives and debate me on it and show me where I'm wrong, because otherwise, if you ain't going to do that, then I'm right, but most of the things I'm saying is because I studied it up and put a bunch of research into it to figure it out, to try to save my ass. Right. And Sick Bastard says, hello, everyone. Hey, thanks for joining us, Sick Bastard. Glad to see you. And Retired Writer shouts out to Sick, and Sick Bastard shouts out to all of us. Right on. But yeah, it's sometimes this shit just especially, it's been this long. You guys can't just give up and give me my shit back yet. And the truth is, it's probably all long gone. Because last I knew, they said it was in 2 different storage units, one 15 miles away and one 20 miles away. But never told me where those storage units were. And it's been that long now. Unless somebody's paying that tab, I'm quite sure that it's been all auctioned off by now. And that's what pisses me off, because, my old shovel head, that I built that thing, tore it down and rebuilt it from the ground up, and so that bike always held a special place for me, and that's why I ended up selling my new one instead, to get me by, to pay up all my bills instead, because I was like, well, I still got my old one and I'm never selling that one. Well, they showed up and made sure that I never seen it again. I'm hoping by chance I'll still be able to get it, but the reality is most of it's probably been auctioned off. Sure, eventually I can come out on top and sue their ass for that too. But well, to me, it's like, even if I sued them and was able to replace my bike, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same bike that I've had all my blood, sweat, and tears into, 2-4 shouts out to Sick. Evil Rick shouts out to Sick. Yeah, I don't have, we can start a topic or I can get ready to shut it down. I don't have too much more to go from there. I just, like I said, I was just trying to come up with some content, and I didn't like the way the video I made was. So I thought, instead of uploading that, I'll just, I see no one was doing a live, so I'd go ahead and get on there and do one. If I notice people or others that I follow are doing one, then I try to catch theirs instead of doing one. And I thought Saudi had one, or is it later? Or because some of his stuff, maybe he canceled out. If anyone knows, I'm not for sure. I know he's had a few health issues going on there, and by all means, keep Saudi Badger in your prayers, everyone. But I seen he didn't. As far as I could tell, I seen he didn't have one scheduled. So I thought I'd just get on here and go over that, and because it bothers me that it was bothering me that but this is from way back. Some people commented in there acting like the sheriff was in the right, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna prove that he's not in the right. Evil Rick says bang on that like button. Thank you. Yeah, right on. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, by all means, subscribe and share this information, especially those of you on the Facebook side locally. I've been fighting like mad to get this. They do everything to keep us quiet. And but there's been plenty of people now that's seen my stuff locally, and they've contacted me. And so we got a big thing growing. I can't wait till we get further on that, so I can do some videos on that. Sick Bastard says T-Bone tonight. Yeah, I think, what time is that one? I think 8 or 8:30, I think. I'm gonna make sure I see that one. That's why I wanted to get on here early enough so I wouldn't, so I could have one done and catch his. And anyone on the Facebook side, that's you can probably, if you go on into YouTube and just type in the @ symbol with the person's name, you can get it. So if you're interested, you can go on, get in on YouTube, and on the search, you type in @T-Bone, and it should pick up his channel. And there's 6:30 p.m. Central. Okay, that's okay. Got just a little under an hour to go. Okay, yeah, I knew it was coming up. I didn't. So that's why I wanted to get on here. I was sitting here. I was doing an edit on my video, and I was like, man, I'm a little too hyped up on that, and sometimes I get hyped up and say stuff that come off wrong, so I didn't want to do that. So I was like, screw it. Instead of uploading this, and I stopped editing it and figured I'd just do a live. Motobomb says the town should be concerned. They could be the next victim. Yeah. And that's my biggest thing. I was like, okay, if this is how it's going to be, because, from my background is like, all the way from my upbringing, as bikers on my dad's side of the family, it's kind of a biker thing that you just stay away from the law. We don't interact. We don't necessarily hate and the old ways anyways. We didn't necessarily hate you. If you busted me for something I was doing, you do the crime, you do the time, right? But we'll stay away from each other. But all this stuff went down, and now here I am getting in their face. So I was like, it was a new experience for me, but I was like, what do I got to lose? But I'm like, people's got to understand this. Even if you, in my community, even if they don't give a shit about me, even if they don't like me, you got to understand the people in this local community that, look, it's a matter of time before they get you in on it. And there's people coming forward, all kinds of people coming forward with their stuff. It's just one after another, and sooner or later it's going to be the whole damn city, and we're not that great big of a city. They call it a city, but I mean it's not that big. If you've seen in some of my videos, it's not all that much. I mean, we got enough people here, but truly General Motors kept Defiance going, and now they used to employ thousands of people, and you couldn't see nothing in the parking lot, and now it's bare. There's hardly anything, and so the town's kind of dwindling down. Retired Rider shouts out to 2-4, and 2-4 shouts out to Retired Rider. Right on. Otherwise, but we got in the community around here where I live, it's just so crazy. We got plenty enough people on the Democrat side, right? And I don't care what side you choose, really. I don't care. At the end of the day, are they abiding by our Constitution? But we got, the left is really brainwashed, and that's the truth. Because I got hyped up on a comment last night where somebody posted a video about the vax, where it was where it caused a lot of issues for people, and then somebody from the left chimed in, trying to blame Donald Trump for, and so I chimed in on there. I said, horse shit. I said, honestly, we could blame Donald Trump for stuff, and he's got enough of his own blame, just like everybody else. But the fact of the matter is, you're not going to win anyone over with your crazy left lunatic shit, trying to blame him for stuff that ain't his fault, right? They are just loony, and that's trying to get, and those of them that are watching my videos, then they try to come out with, try to excuse what the sheriff did. We got one of them, that's maybe even watching, Bobby Schaefer, if you're watching, chimes in sometimes. They violated him, but now because he's a transgender, they are, he's got a lawyer, and they're fighting it, and they're taking the city for big time, right? They're getting a big time lawsuit against the city, and they didn't violate him because he was trans. They violated him just because they freaking pulled him over and accused him of an OVI, and he was not. There was no OVI there, but he's one of them that's a lefty, and I hate to say it, but it's the truth. You're a lefty, and you act like what they did to me is nothing, but what they did to you, everybody should be up in arms about. Bullshit. They should be up in arms just because of the corruption. Period. Motobomb says, if they don't know, they won't care till it's too late. Should be on local news. Yeah, exactly. Like the one I'm talking about, the Bobby Schaefer's case. I did a video for him on my thing, but he's got local news. Toledo 11 out of Toledo came down here. He's all over the news. Feel sorry for the trans community. They're violating the trans people over there, and they're not, but he's all over the news and now getting all this hype. But so now they think they're just violating trans people. We got our local city police are afraid to pull people over now, and they got to go through all this retraining and all this, how to handle the trans people. It's sickening, but then it's crickets when I say, hey, these people stole all my property, and it's crickets. Retired Rider says, brother, there's one party system. The Democrats and the Republicans are all in together. And that's the truth. At the end of the day, that's the truth. It's, I always say, two wings, one bird, right? The left wing and the right wing are all part of the same bird, and that's what it's the truth. He says, Retired Rider says, yes, Donald Trump has enough of his own blame, no doubt about it. He's not perfect in any means. Yeah, and none of them are, none of them. And that's my thing. If my thing is with these snowflakes or whatever we want to call them, if you want to sit there and hound on Donald Trump all the time, I mean, Donald Trump's doing plenty of good stuff, by all means, better stuff than any of the previous presidents, 100%. And I'll give him all the glory he needs for the stuff he's doing good. But from the snowflake side, if you want to keep blaming Trump, first of all, you're just going to have to drop your ignorant beliefs and start going after him for their true stuff. And they won't do that. They go after him for shit that ain't his fault. 2-4 says, I'm a lefty, but not as you're saying. Yeah, right on. And so I, sometimes I don't make myself, or I'm not really clear on how I'm meaning it, because there is I know plenty of people that are Democrats, but they're not crazy lefties, right? That's the problem. There's, I don't have, there's Republicans and Democrats both are. You got the people with sense about them, and which I feel most of us are, right, on one side or the other, but we still got sense about us, and but you got the crazies on either side too. You got. I don't want to just call out the lefties because you got the crazy lefties, but you also got the crazy righties too. Motobomb Virginia says, retired writer, agree with that statement you made for real. Yeah, it is. It is 100%. It's, they're all, it's all one bird, as I said. And, and by all means, Trump or anyone else has, you don't get to that level without having some kind of dirt, and, but is it enough to hold him to the fire like they are? No, it's like, get over it and give him a chance to get this shit done. A lot of stuff he's doing so far is good. I'm not for the whole push for the AI, but this stuff, letting Doge find the fraud, I'm 100% for that. Right. And handling the border and going after the cartels, I'm 100% for that. Trying to end that crazy war in Ukraine, I'm 100% for that. And, but you got some of these crazies over there saying, blaming him for all that shit. The fact of the matter is, we shouldn't have got involved with Ukraine to begin with. It wasn't our problem. That's my opinion. But I believe it's true. It's, we're blaming Russia for the same things we've been doing forever. Right. Russia warned Ukraine several times, don't join up with NATO or it's not going to be good. Well, the crazy, Zelensky, right? He knew he had, America had his back through Biden and all that. So he didn't care, and it's a mess that we shouldn't have been. Our money is a waste. We need to worry about us right here in this country. 24 says, no, I'm left-handed. Oh, okay, right. Right on. I get you. Yeah. You lefty. Right on. But like retired writer, yeah, the Democrats are good people. It's just when you go to the extreme left or the extreme right, that's the problem. And that's what I'm saying. It's you got to watch going, and it's easy to do, I suppose, because you get caught up in believing what this mainstream media is feeding us, right? But yeah, I know some Democrats are good people, and they don't believe quite as bad as the crazy, the extreme left, and but we got plenty enough that around. But I know people extreme right too. It's both sides. Right on though. That's funny. Yeah, left-handed. Motobomb says 2 for a good one. You had me too. Yeah. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty funny. I'll probably, I suppose I'll probably get ready to shut it down then. And what time are we getting at? Oh, we still got about a half hour before T-Bone's. Is his a live or a premiere tonight? Either way, I don't do a whole lot of premieres. I should probably make some of my other videos as premieres, I suppose. I'm not. I'm still trying to find what works. Sometimes YouTube's a uphill battle, it seems like, or well, I got people on the Facebook side too where that's why I use Restream. I've explained that once before. It lets me from the free version, lets me stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time, where and so will, what's the other one that Dr. Harley uses, EV Mux, and I use that one too. That free version allows you to stream to 2 different platforms at once also. But EV Mux, for some reason, seems to drain the power out of my laptop a whole lot more than Restream. And otherwise, I like the one most of you guys are using is what, can't think of the name of it now. StreamYard, right? Yeah, I really like StreamYard. It works nicely with my laptop here, and because I'm just running off of 2019 MacBook Pro, and that was back shit when, so when everything was good for me, and I was investing in all this equipment for my channel, and I've said before, my channel wasn't I wasn't going to go quite this direction. In fact, I was that's one thing I like about Retired Writers Unchained Down the Rabbit Hole, because they touch in on the conspiracy stuff, and that's mostly what my channel originally, my plan was because that's what my website used to be, all about, the conspiracy stuff. And so I was gonna, that's what my channel was gonna focus on, that, and then I was maybe gonna start a second channel to do moto vlogging, and I was investing in this equipment to slowly investing in this equipment to do that stuff. And then all the shit, everything went to shit for me. But so that's why I've been started doing this stuff with showing the cops stuff and with the law and all that, because that's what was left for me at the moment. Retired Writer says, definitely uncensored YouTube can be crazy. Yeah, I tell you. And it's like, and it don't make sense. There's certain videos, I've had a few that's gotten some massive views here and there, and it's ones I wouldn't expect, but then the ones I think, oh, this might do pretty good, ends up not doing worse shit. And I've been and I watch some of these videos. You got some of these big time channels that are to give you tips and stuff on what to do and what not to do. The YouTube gurus or whatever, right? Whatever you want to call it. And I'm seeing some of these channels, and they're large channels, and they're giving out bad advice, telling people, oh, don't be consistent with your uploads, and unclick the box that says publish to your subscribers. And I'm like, why would you do that? I tried it once, and of course it didn't work. So I'm like, why would you do that? So it's hard to trust some of the gurus out there giving you the tips on how to make your channel grow. As there's some good advice out there, and there's some major channels actually giving bad advice. And I don't know. And the only thing I can figure is they're trying to keep people from growing. And I'm finding the best way is through communities like what we got going on here. It's best way to get the word out and grow is that's where I've had my most success, is doing it that way. Otherwise, and you got to watch certain communities. Certain communities are cutthroat. That's what I like about a lot of your guys' communities with the moto vlogging and stuff. It's a lot of good people in there, and everybody's sharing no love, right? It ain't no cutting everybody down or trying to outdo the next person or stuff like that, you know. I must have had, I see we lost our Facebook viewers, so they must have been the lefties. But I think I'll go ahead and shut it down, and that way I can get the dog out and get all that taken care of before T-Bone comes on. So I thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you very much. And other than that, I'm going to go ahead and I think shut it down, and we'll catch you next time. Thank everyone for joining in and tuning in, and I appreciate it very much. Over there on T-Bone's channel tonight. Thanks for joining us.